go.
Now, and two, Sarah, if you will drop everybody's links into the chats randomly, just do like all three of them or whatever.
I'm gonna have to collect them.
Well, you can just you can just copy them right there. Here, I will send you.
Substack's up.
Just a bit.
Okay. I just hit the private chat.
It must be today.
Okay.
Yeah, here you go. There's the list of publications.
That's today.
You can drop that like every 10 minutes or every 5 minutes or whatever into each of the chats. I'd be appreciative.
Why can't I get on Substack?
Like they're hot.
I'm sorry for everybody that's watching, but
hi everyone.
We've got Opinionated Ogre and Jeff Tiedrick in the.
Oh wow!
In the chat.
Nice.
We have 219 people.
Yeah.
Oh snap! Okay.
It's been crazy how fast things fill up now. I had 170 last night.
All right. Well, so today's story was. Today's daily update was really, really difficult. I sort of, I started with the reading, and the EPA is torturing climate policy. A British school decided trans kids were a problem and they should be reported to their families. And then Joe Rogan, who is a complete and total shithead, is doing his stunned puppy routine after discovering the man he helped elect is an ass hamster, because that's what he is. And so it's just shocking, completely shocking to me that this is the case. I mean, I can't believe we this is where we've gotten to, and it's not, it's just not, it's not a good space. So with that, I will go right into it. So Bayard Rustin, who was an architect of the '63 March on Washington, people forget about him, and he stated, "Today, blacks are no longer the litmus test for liberty. That test is now being applied to queer, trans, and gay people." And so the question then becomes, how do we carry this forward? Well, Rustin knew that mechanism from the inside. He built the greatest civil rights demonstration that had been seen in many years. From the program, because of his queerness, he was gay, made the movement uncomfortable. He understood, viscerally and personally, even in his own erased identity, that civil rights are never handed to you whole in one piece. Mm-mm. They're rationed, they're conditional, they're revocable. The moment that you become inconvenient to the people who hold the pen, that becomes a problem.
Right.
Coney Barrett's statement about very concrete, reliant interest language is not a guarantee. In Coney Barrett's case, she said, I think marriage equality is a core right. I think marriage equality will not go anywhere, and I don't think that it's the court's job to regulate those things, and I'm not going to regulate it. But further to Rustin's point, which cuts straight to the reassurance, whoever sits at the bottom of the liberty test at any given moment tells you everything about how much the system actually believes in freedom. Right now, trans kids are being surveilled in their own schools. Marriage equality is held together by one justice's sense of restraint. That test is ours to pass or fail collectively. And the fight for marriage equality and the fight for freedom and the fight to express ourselves in the way that we want. That was Rustin's whole damn point to begin with. You know, he gave us the map in 86. We should just use it. And so that raises the question. The question then becomes, when you have been the inconvenient body, the trans person, the gay person, the progressive person, whoever, what does it cost you specifically to keep building the architecture of freedom for people who have not yet decided whether I or Brandon or Onyx or Lisa or whoever to walk through that door? And from my perspective, the thing that I am most threatened by in doing that, setting up all this infrastructure outside of the scope of everything else to get the word out, the thing that I become most afraid of is my own security and my own safety. Because I can stand up here on this podium, on my soapbox, and I can yell and scream and I can holler and I can say whatever the fuck it is that I want. But at the core, they're still me, and I'm still threatened by what people choose to do, the orange shit stain or his administration. And that's the fear that I live with. So who wants to? Onyx.
Yeah. So, Baird Rustin, you know, I struggle with the litmus test thing, simply because as a Black person, wherever I go, that is the first thing people see. People cross the street, people whisper, people. And when I went to Europe, it was just crazy. You know, people coming up and touching my hair, you know, people showing me Scottie Pippen basketball cards, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that all over the world, being Black is considered lower class. The darker the skin, the lower the class. Now, as it relates to queer issues, yeah, I think right now the litmus test is queer issues, especially in the United States. In the state of Georgia, they just passed a bill that has blocked puberty blockers for kids, trans kids. And this just happened yesterday. So they snuck in these two bills within this law and passed it yesterday. Also regarding state workers and their families, they can no longer get hormones. So we are in a bad place. My mom, just a couple of days ago, I was talking to her and she was distraught. She was like, how do you live? How do you go out of the house? How do you shop? You know? And I was like, I've been doing this for years. You know, this is my life. I live, you know, it's a fear I live with every day, but it can't stop me from living my life. I have to continue to put one foot in front of the other, and I have to continue to show up. You know, and I have to continue to be the person that I am meant to be, so that people who are younger than me can see that, yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Excellent words. Brandon.
Yeah, I'd have to kind of agree with Onyx Rose as far as I was talking with Margaret Williams a few months ago, and I was saying, like, for me, I can go into, you know, a situation like a country western bar or something like that, and if I had to, I could pretend that I wasn't gay, you know. if I felt like the situation was unsafe. But for someone who's black or brown, something like that, it's not like they could hide who they were. You know what I mean? If they had to, I mean, if they felt unsafe or something like that. And yeah, I had never heard of Bayard Rustin before I watched the movie. It was at the beginning of February, maybe the end of January. I can't remember. I watched the movie Rustin, which was
Yeah.
produced by Barack and Michelle Obama, and I never knew that story at all because in school we're taught about Martin Luther King Jr., but I don't remember ever hearing Rustin's name.
No.
And after watching that movie and seeing what an integral part he was of that whole movement, I was just so shocked. And I don't know, it was really sad that his name has been kind of erased for so long.
Well, for the same reason, from a queer liberation standpoint, that people forget the cafeteria riots in San Francisco. Everybody remembers Stonewall because Stonewall was publicized, but not moments before Stonewall happened, the cafeteria riots happened, and it was the same fight. So there are huge pieces of queer culture that we never have found out about because of society's desire to the daughters of Bilitis.
I want to back up and say something about Black culture too. That's the civil rights movement. Rosa Parks was not the first person to sit on the bus. There was a lady like, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years before that, who sat on the bus and wouldn't move. And that's what started the actual civil rights movement. They were like, okay, we are going to put Rosa Parks on this bus. And it is going to be a move of defiance. And so sorry, just wanted to jump in there.
Ooh.
Did you have anything else you wanted to provide?
Well, yeah, I don't even know if there was a question posed, but I kind of just went off of what Onyx Rose was talking about.
Okay, well, cool. Cool. So now Sarah gets to answer the question.
Of course, Sarah.
I am not the person to answer this question because I'm multitasking too many things. And probably shouldn't even be here right now.
You're still a baby, Sarah. I hate to say that, but you're still a baby.
Can you say the question again?
The question is, I have to scroll to the question.
It's been so long. Wendy's forgot the question.
The liberty is a litmus test. The question is, what does it cost you to keep building the architecture of support and freedom and expression and everything? What does that cost you? Or what has it cost you? What did it cost you to come out as a queer person?
What did it cost me?
Yes.
I guess ultimately it cost me my marriage.
Well, that's true. But
marriage go boom.
But beyond that, I don't think it cost me anything really. And I mean, going forward, anything that I'm putting on the line isn't anything that isn't worth risking for that.
it's not worth risk. It is worth risking.
Yeah, it's not worth it, it's worth risking and not worth shying away from that risk. Sorry, my brain is not entirely functional. It's been a rough morning.
That's okay.
I like that answer. Yeah.
I like that answer. Now Lisa gets to answer the question.
Is it the same question or?
Yes, the same question. I'm going to guess that means that you can't make your chickens anymore. Do you have one of your chickens to show everybody?
I've got plenty of chickens. There's only a couple that are finished right here, like this one.
Chicken.
The chicken. And then
That
this is
looks
a
like-
mini rainbow chicken.
That looks like a really, see, I like the rainbow chicken, but the other one, that's a bigger cock than the other one.
This is
Yeah.
looking like a barred rock, and this one's not done yet.
That's what I was gonna say. A barred rock or a black rock.
And see, I started doing what they call pixels yarn. This doesn't have its comb yet, but this is another way to have rainbows. So, but well, I don't. I guess it cost me a women's group, and I'm still getting messages from them. They do not understand that hating the sin and loving the sinner
Oh gosh.
creates a very much second class situation where they think that they're being generous if they allow me to attend their church. And I know that anyone who, if I come out openly in that church, anyone who knows will take their kids away, will shy away from talking to me, or will try very hard to convert me regularly, etc. Conditional acceptance is an acceptance.
No.
No,
And-
conditional acceptance is never accepted.
And
It's
they
not.
don't, they're too dumb to realize it, or too buried in their own dogma. And but other than that, I'm lucky. I have kids that love me no matter what, and a sister who apparently actually already was experimenting herself, and so I haven't lost a lot with family or anything. So I really count myself lucky on that part. So but I just, as speaking to Onyx's experience, as she was talking, this headline comes across on a notification. It says only Black governor discusses
Yes.
or outraged with Trump or something, and I'm like, yeah, they're not a governor, they're a Black governor. There's always the label. You have to be labeled as darker than everybody.
Well, here's the thing. Trump invited all the governors to a lunch or a dinner, but that Black governor and one other brown person.
I was literally
Really?
yes, I literally
Holy hell, that's so inappropriate. Oh my god.
I literally was about to get that next section.
We are that backwards now as a country.
Yes.
That's
Basically,
impressive.
Trump's invitation was to Republican-only governors, and like not Pritzker and not Newsom. Like he's specifically trying to racially divide the country at this point. Which is,
But he
Holy
had
shit.
other Democrat governors, or just Republican governors.
no, Republicans. Those are the people that support that.
Yeah.
What? I mean, come on. So that goes into the second portion of the broadcast, and
Oh, cool.
that's Adrienne Rich, who, if you're a feminist or you know the feminist subculture, Adrienne Rich is an amazing poet. If Miranda were in here, Miranda would be saying things about it. But Rich wrote in her book, On Lies, Secrets, and Silence, we are all of us involved in the invention of a new language, the discovery of a new reality, the making of ourselves. As queer people, whatever stage of life we are in a state of making ourselves. And Adrienne Rich said that. That's not performance. That's not survival. That's making and building. That distinction is everything on a day when the government is dismantling protections for climate change. English schools are outing trans kids. You know, the world is actively, aggressively hostile to the making of ourselves, to every identity, to every community, and to relationships that didn't come pre-approved by those who have power. And still, I show up. Onyx shows up. Lisa shows up. Brandon shows up. Sarah shows up. Everybody that's watching the show shows up. And you build and you name what is real, even when the institutions insist that it's fictional or that it's fake or that it's not real or that it's not what some immaterial being that none of us can see instituted.
On a Bronze Age religion?
Right. That isn't toxic. That is not toxic positivity. That's just the fucking truth. The making continues, even in the fire, especially in the fire, and no matter what the fire does. And so that begs the question, in the places where the world is most aggressively trying to push me out and erase me and finish me into something that they can deal with, where exactly are you still allowing yourself to be unfinished? And what are you afraid of will happen if you protect that unfinished space rather than just allowing it to grow in the way that it has? And for me, that's my transition. When all of this government bullshit happened, all of this stuff blew up, like I had everything planned out last year for entire long-standing movements into my gender transition. And all of that got put on hold because I got scared. I got scared that, oh my God, if I don't recalculate, I don't recalibrate for when these things are going to happen, my right to vote could get taken away. I could get, I could get incarcerated just for being a trans woman. I could become detained. I could become questioned. I'm not becoming a target. I am a target. And that scares me. And so while that aspect of me is unfinished, it's not incomplete. I just need to not be afraid to continue in that path. But it's a legit fear. There were a number of trans sisters and trans brothers that over the course of the last year said, hi, I'm detransitioning. That detransitioning was a result of that fear, a result of that void that was taking over because of fear that people had for what was going to happen. So, Brandon, what unfinished part of you?
Well, it's, going to the fear part, fear of existing. It's hard not to have that when we look back at history and then see it repeating itself.
This is true.
When we see things like Trump asking for a list of Jewish students and faculty members from the University of Pennsylvania. It's like, that is like horrible. I mean, it's just a repetition of Nazi Germany and being queer in public spaces and trying to be who you are. It's hard not to have at least some fear in the back of your mind when you know people are being categorized and in some respects rounded up. So Sorry, what was the
Oh no,
being
the
part of you that
unfinished
is
part of yourself that you haven't finished yet, but you are afraid to finish, and why?
well, I mean, I'd limit what I tell my family and stuff about myself. I mean, if I'm dating a guy or whatnot, or if in a relationship or whatever, I wouldn't want to tell them about it. I wouldn't want to keep some things to myself. Going out in public with somebody I was in a relationship, depending on where it is, I may not want to have just display affection in public,
Right.
for fear of what, not necessarily what people would say, because that doesn't really matter to me, but what some of them might do, because there's still, I mean, I go back, I keep thinking back to Matthew Shepard. He was in a very rural area, and everybody knew he was gay, and there were these, white redneck guys that pretended to be gay to lure him into a truck and beat him to death. That wasn't that long ago, and I'm in a rural area, and I can't say that that kind of thing won't happen again.
As a trans
So it's a real fear.
Speaking from a trans perspective, it's the same fear with the Boys Don't Cry movie. Who was Brandon Tina, who was a trans guy. Same exact deal.
Both of those, like, just woo.
I hate to quote a line from a movie, but Brokeback Mountain. This takes a hold of us at the wrong place on the wrong time, and we're dead. And that's a very stark reality as a queer person. That's a world that we live in. And that's a world that we have to accept exists. Unfinished business, Lisa.
Wow. See, I just mentally, I've done a lot of the journey, but as far as, I obviously have never found anyone to date yet. I looked for a while. So I guess that's unfinished. And I don't even know how to start living in the middle of nowhere. It's like I sit there and
it's funny you mentioned that, because Brandon lives in the middle of nowhere, and
I know. I'm not tempted to ask advice. Brandon, you know any lesbians nearby?
I really don't.
Down the road from you a little ways is fine.
I mean, I used date. I went on the apps, so
I did too. I got somebody in Kansas City, and as far as I can tell, she only wanted to see how much she could get out of me before. She wouldn't even let me like kiss her on the cheek. I mean, it's just the weirdest. Yeah. I mean, that was like, $50 a month, and I can't afford that now. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I just do the free versions, and I know it's limited as far as that goes,
Yeah.
but
I might try to do the free thing. I haven't had any luck. Didn't have any luck when I was paying for it, so it wasn't worth the money. Free might be better.
Question is,
yes, unfinished business, and why you haven't finished it.
So unfinished business. I have I have so trauma is a big thing. Um, Unresolved trauma is even bigger. I have stuff that I don't speak about a lot that has happened to me. Um, and it's um, it's kind of slowed down my oh shit, it's just slowed me down. Like there are things that I can't get over. There are issues that I can't get over, and these pertain to sexuality. Like my gender kind of goes from left to right all the time. Sexuality is, popping here, popping there, but there was this specific incident in my past that does not allow me to move forward in the way that I would like, and kind of working on that, but it's not really going well. So
Onyx, I think that's, whoops, wrong one. I think that's completely normal. It took me a long time and most of the world to learn what I know about love and fate and the choices that we make. But at the heart of it came to me in an instant while chained to a wall, and the bright eyes of Carla Singh watched me from across the room, Gregory David Roberts. But the thing that comes to mind, so I wrote that quote and I was like, oh, it's powerful. But wait, that made me think of, we have to be continually jumping off cliffs and developing our wings on the way down while we're doing it, which is that's a Vonnegut quote. But Audre Lorde even says this further by saying, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important about whether I'm afraid. So what you carry forward into a burning world, don't mistake fear for a sign that you shouldn't move. All of these things are happening. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't take steps to secure yourself, that you shouldn't take steps to do the things that you need to do for yourself. And so in Lorde's case, she dared to be powerful while she was dying of cancer, while raising children, while being Black and queer in America in the 70s. I can't imagine what that struggle was like. I really can't. But she didn't wait for safety. She used the strength that she had, and the vision was large enough that it did not require her to be fearless at first. I'm sure that Audre Lorde was completely scared as shit. I would have been, and in a way that I cannot describe. But today, our vision is the thing. We have to hold it. We have to use it. We'll eventually get wings, but there's going to be things that we do that are fearful and contagious and everything else. And so that leads me to ask, if fear is no longer your permission slip, if you've decided, like Lorde did, to move anyway, what is the vision that is actually large enough to carry you forward? And have you been honest with yourself about whether you are serving that vision or still waiting for conditions that may never come? For me, being a mom, when I'm not afraid, I am my most mom-like. And so that feeling serves me well. Professionally, in my job yesterday, I did my year-end review.
Wow.
with my manager, and my manager was like, I mean, okay, I'm just going to not tell you who said these things, but I've had 3 C-level executives who have communicated with you. One of them was the CEO of the company, and said, she has a very warm maternal instinct. Don't lose her. She took the team you put her on and turned it around in 6 months. So, in my world, the ideal world is I'm allowed to channel that energy to whoever wants it, whoever needs it, or whoever deserves it. And those who know me know that I continually try to do that. I continually seed to do that. And that's what I would do in a world if I were completely not afraid. I would just approach people. What do you need? You look like you need help. I was on the train yesterday morning, and there was a person, and the person said, "Oh, my name's Carolyn, blah, blah, blah." We talked for a little bit. And she was like, and I'm a biology graduate, and I'm trying to find a job. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, I know some people in that space. Connect with me on LinkedIn or whatever, and I can connect you with some people that I know. And I gave her my LinkedIn. That's what would happen. In a world where I wasn't afraid, I would tell people shit like that, because that's what I do, or why I do it. Let me guess, you just make more chickens.
In a world where I wasn't afraid, I'd actually buy real chickens. More chickens than I have. Wow. A world where I wasn't afraid, I'd probably be a published novelist. My biggest thing is people pleasing and constantly redoing everything I do. And I entered a writing contest years ago on some place that's no longer around called Gather. And the Associated Press East Coast editor read the excerpt from my novel and even emailed me again years later and said, well, have you published it yet? And I've never even gotten an agent. So if I were fearless, that'd be probably what would be different.
So, one of the publication family members will actually edit for you. You know that, right?
No, but I've done it. It's been edited a lot.
So then we just need to get you an agent.
I just need to get brave.
So
yes, where I'm not brave. That's where I'm not brave.
So that's a Brandon thing. Brandon, do you know an agent? Surely you have one.
I don't even have any published short stories out in the real world, though.
No.
So.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
Just on Substack.
Now I'm gonna go and find. I'm gonna go find queer-friendly, queer engaging agents.
Yes, definitely.
But that's my craven part of my world. That is where I'm not fearless.
Okay. That's where you're not fearless.
I don't think about being afraid very often. It sounds weird, but.
No, it doesn't.
Poor Sarah.
What would I do if I wasn't afraid?
You would meet your person.
Mm.
Is she looking?
That's not a matter of fear.
Matter of timing.
It's not a matter of fear. I can't imagine what that would be a matter of then.
Timing? Gotta.
What would I do? I would change careers. That's what I would do.
Why?
Because my career at my current job is old enough to vote, and I don't make $20 an hour.
Good reason to change.
Yeah, very good reason to change.
But the reason the fear rolls into it is because I don't really have adequate amount of experience in any one field to start out any place other than entry level, which probably isn't going to do any better than what I'm doing now.
Right.
And the job that I have provides me with a vehicle, so without that, I don't know how my child would get to school. So at the moment, I'm kind of in limbo.
That's what moms are for.
Okay. I can track with that. No fear, Onyx. What would happen?
So, I work best with people. I work best with people, and that's people to people, person to person. So what I like to do is connect people to people, or connect people to myself, so that if I need someone here, that person's here, or if that person needs me, that person can lean on me. If I didn't have any fear, I would be on the front lines organizing, getting everybody ready if I didn't have any fear. But I do have fear. So instead of being on the front lines calling for change, pushing for change, pushing for revolution, I do it one person at a time. I do it by signal, where we have these conversations and we realize that we have these same views and that we are a connection to each other. If one person goes missing for a certain amount of time, we know what to do. And this is across a good number of people, and so while I do have a fear of being out in public, especially as a queer person, trans, that's really scary. But behind the scenes, I don't have that fear. Behind the scenes, I think I'm doing good work, and I feel like I am, and I feel like it's necessary work. And that's where I thrive. Yeah.
I mean, I can track with that. I can certainly even feel that way, and feel the feeling behind that. I mean, that's where all of us are.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get Brandon? I don't think we got Brandon.
We didn't get Brandon yet.
Yeah, we didn't get Brandon yet. No fear. What
No,
would happen?
not yet. No fear.
Yeah, no fear. What would happen?
I kind of relate to some of what. Oh, sorry. What?
No. Keep going.
Oh, I kind of relate to some of what Onyx Rose was talking about. That, I like that quote. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid.
Mm.
I don't feel like I have fear in my writing. I'll write whatever I want, and I don't fear any backlash from that. I don't feel like I hold anything back from that. Kind of like what Onyx Rose was saying as far as being in public and stuff like that. Yeah, there would be some fear in that, but it's also not where my strength is.
Hmm.
I don't feel like that's part of what I should be doing. I feel like I'm doing what I need to be doing and where my strength lies. And it's not out of fear that I don't go out and speak publicly and in front of crowds and things like that. It's just that's not my forte. That's not where my strength is. There are other people who do that well, and I'll let them do that. And what I'm doing is my strength, and I don't feel like I'll hold back from that.
I don't think that you do either. I think you do an excellent job communicating. I feel like what you contribute when you contribute it extols the virtue of that energy. I could tell you that there have been occasions I've needed what you wrote that day to get through it. And I literally have to tell you from an emotional perspective that I'm thankful for that. Because some days are
I appreciate that.
Some days are a disaster, other days are not. In closing, before Brandon has to leave, because Brandon has to leave early today, I say this to all of you, Onyx and Brandon and Lisa and Sarah and myself, and to everybody watching. Stop auditing your worthiness and rather pour a foundation. The door doesn't build itself while you're standing in the rubble of someone else's comfort, and nor should you give a shit. Waiting for a permission slip that's never going to arrive is also bullshit.
True.
Every system that benefits from your hesitation, Onyx's hesitation, my hesitation, Sarah's hesitation, Lisa's hesitation, is counting on us to keep mistaking fear for wisdom, and that's not true. It just isn't. To keep filing your edges down until you're something manageable, something pre-approved, something that fits into their mold. It shouldn't be that way. So to that end, I say, name what vision it is that you have, not the sanitized, palatable, won't make anyone uncomfortable version, because fuck that. The real one, the one that wakes you up at 3 a.m. with your heart hammering against your ribs like it's trying to escape, the one that terrifies you precisely because it's large enough to matter, because it is. If our voices weren't large enough to matter, we wouldn't be sitting here having these conversations. There wouldn't be however many people are watching us talk about these things if that weren't true. So then move forward. Move towards it like the ground is already on fire, because it is. It's been for a while, but you protect the unfinished edges like they're sacred to you, not because the world will reward you for it, because fuck no, it won't. But because of the rawness is the only thing that the machine can't replicate, because you don't want to be replicated by the machine. Build it anyway. Loud, messy, unapologetic. The wings aren't waiting patiently somewhere ahead of you. They're forged from all of the failing that you do to begin with. Lord proved that in all of her efforts going through the time when she succumbed to cancer. Baldwin proves that. The Greek female philosopher Sappho, she proved it. Don't fit into that mold. Don't fit into that space. And certainly don't give a shit about what other people think. We in the community just say, you do you. I'm just going to help you get there so that you don't feel like you have to do that alone. So that you don't feel like you have to worry about that or anything else. Which, by the way, Brandon, I have to ask. You seen him again?
No,
No.
not yet.
Okay. No.
It's in the middle of the week.
Okay.
I thought it was Friday.
Wait, you don't date on weekdays?
What bullshit is this?
Well, well, he works. I work at home, so I don't care. But
Right.
we have to coordinate schedules.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, I bet that plan is there going in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Sarah, Lisa, Onyx. I won't ask Brandon because I've already given him a hard time. Do you have anything to close?
Mm-mm.
I have my usual, fuck ICE, fuck Donald Trump, fuck transphobia, fuck homophobia, fuck ableism, fuck xenophobia, live a life out loud as you can, support your fellow human, love people as much as you can, and try and love yourself even more. And that's all I got.
Remember, we're all humans being.
Yep. Humans being.
Did you say we're all humans being?
Yes.
You did that on purpose, didn't you? I see what you did there.
It makes sense. It's great. Oh.
I swear, Lisa, you should use that as a tagline. You should really use that as, because if you don't, I'm going to make you do it. So,
Wow.
Wow.
um,
I've got a few, like, I'm unique just like everybody else.
I used to have that written on my backpack in high school.
No.
what?
I'm unique, just like everybody else.
I'm unique just like everybody else. Well, I mean, why would you not be?
Exactly.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
why would you not be? I mean, you just. We lost Brandon, but do you want to hear my cooking thing for the
Sure.
the day? It's a little silly. It's a little silly. So the cooking thing for the day was roasted cabbage steaks.
Cabbage steaks?
Yes,
Those
roasted
two words don't
cabbage
seem
steak.
like they should go together.
Okay. So,
No.
All right.
Steak, cabbage.
So let me just give this to you and let me tell you what you think. Okay. So you get a head of green cabbage and you cut it into 1 inch wide rounds.
Okay.
And then you brush both sides of it with a tablespoon of white miso mixed into 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And then you lay it on a sheet pan and you roast it at 425 for 15 minutes until the edges are a golden crispy consistency. And then you finish it with sesame seeds and a drizzle of rice vinegar. That literally is the cheapest meal that I could come up with for a vegetable that's in season, which happens to be cabbage, because cabbage is in season. The other thing, and I'm waiting for Sarah to battle me on this one, is growing your own garlic. Planting an individual garlic clove 2 inches deep in a pot on your windowsill, it literally takes 8 to 10 weeks to harvest. And he cost a head of garlic was $2 in the grocery store versus you're feeding a plant on your windowsill that will continually give you cloves of garlic. It probably won't be like California Gilroy, capital of the world garlic, but it'll be garlic. and then you snip the green shoots, and you get a mild garlic chive flavor. I mean, why would you pay $7 for a bunch of garlic when you could just windowsill grow that? I'm waiting for Sarah to tell me I'm stupid. But
I have thoughts.
yeah,
you have thoughts. Are they bad thoughts? I would think like that's a great idea.
I mean, yeah, from using the garlic scapes, the green parts, sure.
Right.
But when you grow a head of garlic, you only get one head of garlic unless you replant the individual cloves. And it takes 2 seasons to grow hardneck garlic. It actually has to go through the freezing process, so doing it on your windowsill doesn't really work. Unless you're getting soft neck, and then maybe, but it's still a full season. That's one of those slowest growing things.
So really,
okay, so she came in with a dissertation, you know?
It takes forever to get artichokes too.
Yes.
Okie dokie artichoke.
Single season thing. But they're really cool looking plants, man.
And asparagus takes 2 years before you can harvest for the first time.
Yep, and then you can only harvest about a quarter of it.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't harvest it heavily the first couple of years at all. I've got purple asparagus in my garden.
All right. Well, I mean, I was gonna talk about my white bean and tomato stew, which feeds 4 people under $6, but it has beans in it and it has tomato sauce in it, and I knew Sarah would immediately give me crap about it, so I'm not going to.
Why would I give you crap about beans and tomato sauce?
Because everybody gives me a crap.
Sugar.
Does that in it? Yes, it does.
Well, I wouldn't be able to eat it. That's too many carbs.
Carbs and sugar. Yep.
And then the things that happened today, by the way. So Bayard Rustin did the march in '63. In 1973, the American Psychiatric Association removed homosexuality from its DSM, marking a shift in medicine pathologized queerness. Johnson co-founded STAR today in 1970. Milk became the first openly gay man elected to a public office in California.
Yeah.
The Stonewall Monument was established by Obama in 2016.
And now they've taken down the pride flag.
They've taken all of our pride flags down.
Wait, but they put the pride flag back up today.
They put the flags back up? Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And when activists defied the Trump administration this week by re-raising the pride flag at Stonewall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trump made it illegal for it to be there.
Who, by the way, while that was happening, Zoran Mamdani or whatever was there, and he literally said, "No act of erasure will ever change or silence that history." Fuck yeah!
Right.
Nice.
Well, that is true. You know, they can take away our flags. They can take away our anything that is superficial, but they're not going to extinguish us. That's just not going to happen.
Erase people's existence. Well, you try. A certain scary person tried that years ago with a certain whole group of people, but
right,
it isn't going to change the fact those people exist.
It's still happening today in many parts of the world, but it does not change the fact that those people exist.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Onyx and Lisa. We're right at 1 hour. Thank you, everybody that watched the show. For everybody that's watching the show, I do want to say most of the authors that are on this live session, which we do on Monday and Fridays at 1 o'clock, are not publishing content on Substack. So if you look into the chat, take each of the independent URLs and go and subscribe. Free to subscribe. If you want to pay to help struggling writers get what they need, myself included. Please feel free. Buy me a coffee for $2. You'll get access to an amazing amount of content. And I think that would all be really good for all of us, all the way around. And so with that, I will tell everyone good day. Go out there, do good things, be safe.
And be kind to each other.
You know, don't let it get the worst of you. And do something nice for someone. It helps. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
Believe me, it helps.
Yeah, do something nice for someone. That's perfect.
Practice random acts of
kindness.
No. Always.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.